Hello, hello. Welcome on in. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of May, and you have stumbled across James Necko's stream. Poor you. So, today, as has become habit, we are going to be doing the Weird Wednesday, which is playing through this interactive encyclopedia of the strange. While I think about it, let's switch to PoppyCam 2. Will let me do that? No. Oh wait, it was Control-Alt-Shift-2, yes? Okay, well we can't really see very well because it exposure out the wazoo, but I set up the camera on the bedroom window shelf, and that's where I last saw Poppy. She was hanging out there looking out, but not the greatest of pictures there. Okay. I stumble nowhere. When I go to James Necko's stream, I march in with pride and intent, because it's worth it. Thank you, Stardrop. And yeah, welcome in. How are you doing? I intended to get a lot more stuff done today than I actually did. Fatigue just got me in the morning, although partly we have to blame like the manner in which I woke up. I was head-butted awake at 7 a.m. By a small furry creature demanding biscuits. I attended to this need and was rewarded with vomit on the carpet in my bedroom. So, you know, it's one of those kind of false start kind of days where you intended to sleep in a little bit longer, and instead your brain has to be jolted into alertness a bit too early. Good alarm clock, bad alarm clock. I'm doing okay. Chill day, I think I'm the only one here. How are you? Yes, basically had to go back to bed, well, snooze on the sofa for most of the morning, because I just wasn't having any of it. So yeah, we've been playing Weird, and it's kind of entertaining, actually. Where's the game scene? Yeah. Let's load it up. Where was it? It was in my computer somewhere, yes. This VM is a little slow, but it's just enough to load the game, which had compatibility with Windows 3.1, but seems to run a lot better in the Windows 95 version of itself. I just had the viewer list minimized. Well, you know, some people like to lurk, and that's entirely good and well. And, you know, people got things to do. We can't always be active in chat. That's fine. We love our lurkers here. Use Task Scheduler to schedule repetitive tasks. I keep meaning to clip out the lurker sprite from Ultima Underworld 2 and set up some sort of on-screen thing for that. But for now, we'll just have to make do with the whoosh sound from World of Warcraft. Imagine if there were 50 of me. I wouldn't wish that upon you. Oh, the constant limerick and tongue-twister redeems that you could employ. This is a nice little opening sequence that they made. Full of pre-rendered CGI goodness. I mean, look, it's a little camera with wings. Thank you for reminding me. Oh no. There's plenty of reading to be done in this one. It's quite taxing on the old vocal cords, but quite pleasing. Malfunction. Suggest user investigation. Also, that reminds me, I need to bump up the audio for this game to the max, because when they do occasionally read things out, it can be a little quiet. So, it does not automatically load your last save, which is weird, right? Here we are. So we'd gone around this cool space-themed area. I don't think there's anything that's like a secret that we missed, but they do like to include them somewhere, sometimes. We looked at the sun, we looked at these blocks. What was this one?
A clock in Denver, Colorado, had the alarming habit of stopping whenever its owner died. It stopped at the exact hour and minute of Charles Spellman's death. Then it was passed on to Emerson
Sorry for
Spellman,
all the flashing lights,
and
people.
precisely the same thing
This
happened
game
again. When the clock was given to R.J. Spellman,
likes to do this,
he must
and
have
was
had
made
half an ear listening constantly for its ticking.
a
But
little
when he
bit
could hear it
before
no longer and his time was up, the clock stopped again.
photosensitivity
precise
things were
minute.
around. Like, you know, like photosensitivity awareness, I guess. But yeah, we went through all of the space stuff last week, including astronauts claiming that Santa Claus was on the moon. That was an entertaining one. And this door takes us back to the central area. But we had run up against a... yeah, that's where we entered the space area through, like, the little maze that we did. Yeah, we'd run up against a puzzle here in the radio chamber. A terrible clock if it needed to be wound every minute. Yeah. The Devil's Microwave. Chicago plane crash, yeah. Hello, YGY. Welcome on in. How are you doing? So I figure we could... Alpha, beta, that other symbol, sigma, that other one. I really should learn my Greek alphabet properly. Yeah, we could go back to the radio room and see if we can, like, figure out... Doing all right? That's great. Figure out this puzzle while I still have some brain cells available. There's Poppy. Okay, she's blocking the light now a bit, which means we can kind of see this cat-shaped outline. Oh, no, there she goes. Who knows where she will approach us next. But the good thing about doing the stream at 4 PM my time is that we will approach 5 PM, which is a guaranteed appearance by Poppy. Yeah, let's do the puzzle here and see if we can figure out anything more about it. Because I will run out of brain power quite rapidly today, and... things, yes. Turn navigation off. Unless... I mean, this doesn't let us teleport, does it? I mean, if I go to the Devil's Microwave here, is it going to actually take us there? Oh, nice! We got ourselves a teleporter. So it looked like this one about the Phantom Train was not actually relevant to the puzzle itself. And the puzzle itself was just that we had like 10 different radio frequencies we could tune into. And then this thing, which was a combination lock of sorts. And it seems like the only things we can click on are these 3 buttons. So we've got bells, bubbles, clock, fire, bird, upbeat. I'm going to turn this up for myself a bit. Horse, land, thunder, waves, and back to bells. So that's a lot of combinations, actually. I think that was the eagle stock sound used in Quest for Glory 4. I wouldn't be surprised if these are stock sounds. I keep coming across people using the door sounds from Elder Scrolls 2 and Elder Scrolls 3. You know, I'm just the Leonardo DiCaprio meme on the TV. So presumably, let's say bells is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and okay, so there's 10 different combinations for each one of those, and there's 10 different stations, I guess? No, I didn't want to click into the thing again. I wanted to click out. How do I leave? Thank you. Because it seems like... Nope, didn't want to click on this. We already learned about the air disaster.
Hazard.
Hazard.
Story sequence activated.
Like, the thing that confuses me about this is that each one of the 10 stations you can tune into seemed to bubbles, thunder, bells, waves. Yeah, some of these stations seem to have more than 3 sound effects. Pardon me. So I suppose I could get out a pen and paper, or... I mean, I'm right at my computer here, and I have my paint overlay doodad. So let's do that. And we could do green. Yeah, that sounds good. So 1 was... Shall we draw actual, like a bell shape? Is that a bell? Is it a hoof? Who knows? So what was it? Oh, no, that's the exit button. No, come on, let's... I'm so glad that they made these sequences skippable.
Hazard.
They're pretty, but they take the while, and you can easily accidentally trigger them. Okay, so that was actually bubbles, then bells. Tawi! Oh my goodness! Robot Spacer is raiding us with a party of 35. Hang on a second, I'm locked into this view. Let me close my doodad here, and I've been drawing on my stream, and hello, welcome in, raiders. How are you? My name is James Necko, and I am a assorted retro DOS streamer mostly, except when I'm not. Welcome on in. How are you doing? How was your stream? Robot Parade. This game looks interesting. How is it so far? It's sort of like a hybrid between a game and a multimedia experience. Maple Mystery, hello, welcome in. Good to see you all. Yeah, how was your stream? Are you still doing Malpiti Island? Let me give you a shout out, because that's a thing. It would help if OBS has actually captured my mouse. See what you're doing. Yes, part 25. So yeah, this game, weird. Truth is stranger than fiction. I originally got it on a PC format cover CD. So, I got it for free, but you can see it's as sold for $29.99. Maybe you can't see. But it's kind of a mashup between Encarta, but for weird paranormal occurrences, and Myst. So it's got all these beautiful pre-rendered 3D environments that you can click through, and got a whole bunch of articles about, ooh, this guy, he saw a ghost this one time. Ooh, isn't that spooky? So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, a lot of the stories are obviously like, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, your cousin told you that, did you? Huh, right. But it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and it's kind of like, like, hey, it's just for fun. There's a bunch of spooky ghost stories or UFO sightings or things of that nature. It's fun. Game Dev Jeff, welcome on in. It's like Encarta if it didn't have any facts. That's a good one, Star Drop. Yeah, so we're currently, like, I started looking at this puzzle. Let me go back to the game. At this puzzle where, like, we've got a bunch of sounds that get played. Bird sound. I think that was fire before. No. Horsey. Waves. And if we leave this puzzle screen with this fancy ass full motion video that they've got going, a little radio robot goes back into his house. Can show you what most of the rest of the game is actually like. Because, the actual interactive puzzly bits, they're fairly sparse. We did a maze last stream to get to this area. But they break up the actual sort of encyclopedia bits quite nicely. And they kind of gate it off a bit. So we've got navigation here. Thank you for the follow. Follows are anonymous, by the way. We've got like ghostly tales, UFOs, and we're slowly progressing around this map of the area. So here we are in the radio chamber, and there's the Chicago plane crash. There's the goat sucker myth. Here's the devil's microwave. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. How do I leave? I have to go back to the map. So for example, some of them, and there is a bit of a strobe warning, sorry. Some of these things just like to really flash on and off because that's spooky, obviously. The Devil's Microwave, lol. Yeah. Some of them are just text, so I've been reading these out. David Booth could gain no satisfaction from being proved right, but he knew it was going to happen. He warned people it was going to happen, and when it did happen, he just wished he'd been wrong. For 10 consecutive nights, he dreamt of a 3-engined American airline plane losing its power, rolling over and crashing in a ball of flames. He knew he had to do something. Fraught with worry, he called the Federal Aviation Authority and American Airlines to warn them of his dreams, but there was little they could do, and tragically, just days later, his dream came to life. On May the 25th, 1979, one of the worst aviation disasters in history happened at Chicago Airport, when a 3-engined American Airlines DC-10 crashed on takeoff, killing nearly 300 people. Most remarkable was the unusual way that it rolled over as it crashed, just as David Booth had seen in his dreams. Like, some of them, you know, might have actual documented before the event facts, which are nice, and some of them are just like, well, my auntie said that she was brewing a cup of tea and she saw it in the tea leaves. Here's the Devil's Microwave. There is a tiny village in France that has earned the nickname the Devil's Microwave because of a spate of mysterious fires that cannot be explained. Investigators are completely baffled, ruling out any suggestion that arson or electrical faults could have started the fires. In this absence of any natural explanation, the villagers have begun to look to the supernatural for the cause. Beep. So, at the other end of this hallway is a doorway that is blocking our progress to the next chamber. So we kind of have to solve this puzzle if we want to see some more spooky things. And it's like this. We've got like a combination lock of 3 symbols, of which there are 10 permutations each. I could probably brute force it. That would only be 1,000 permutations, after all. But let's have a look to see if we can figure it out. Based on this ribbon that appears out of that box over there.
Hazard.
And it's not all text, of
Hazard.
course.
Droid sequence activated.
Some of these have voiceovers, and some of these even have like a tiny little window of full motion video. It can be a bit quiet based on like what I can see on my OBS. But I have pumped up the game in Windows and on OBS as much as I can, so there's that. Look how pretty that is, though. So bubbles, thunder, bells. And then waves. It's weird. I would have thought there would only be 3 sounds to listen to for this one. Let me go up and then down again. Bubbles. Thunder. Bells. So I've got here my stream overlay thing, which we can use to take some notes on. So one was bubbles. Can't do a little dot, can I? Where's my undo? Okay, fine. Where's my eraser? Clear it. Stream hasn't crashed, has it? No? Cool, it's just my overlay that's crashed. Still live? It looks like we're still live. Shall I just try and open it up again? Interact. Yeah, cool, cool. We can draw. Green, let's make it a little bit bigger. One was bubbles. Cool, cool. Then it was, what was it? Thunder. Then bells. I can't draw a bell. And then waves. I'm going to run out of space here, aren't I? Alright, what's 2? Two is a bird. And hoof claps. And then waves. See, that one, it only had 3 sounds to it, right? So if there's 3 symbols we need to put into the puzzle, that sounds more likely. But there's a bunch of others. Three is bells, oofs, and also waves, like kind of overlapping there. And a kitty. Drawing with my mouse is very difficult, you guys. Especially in this tiny little window. That's a kitty, okay? Again, 4 different sounds. Maybe that's not the right one. 4. That's a heartbeat. More clippy clops. Burb. Look, it's not an airplane, it's a bird, okay? Okay, that was only 3. That was good. Bells. Kitty. Heartbeat and bubbles. Alright, what's 6? Okay, that's a bird and thunder and a ticking clock and a kitty. Wait, hang on, let me put... No, it's fine. Oh, gee. Whoops. There we go. Clock. Bird. Wait, what was it? Just a clock and a bird. Okay, that's only 2 symbols. So that's possibly not the one we want. I mean, maybe it's just going to be the only thing that has 3 symbols in it. Who knows? Eight. Thunder. Bubbles, but they sounded different than the other bubble sounds. Clock. Oh, and I hear a heartbeat there too. 9 gets us bells. Burb. Horses. Anything else? It kind of sounded like a crackle of a fire, but I'm not sure. And finally 10, we have waves, a kitty, ticking clock, And bubbles, huh? So I reckon the only one that we had that was like 3 symbols was 4, right? Everything else just had a bit too many noises going on. Wait, 2 also had like a bird, hoofs, and water? Let me listen to that. Also just put this one. See my face. I mean, I can also draw on my face if you like. Actually, I can't draw my face because I've got the thing that opens up here. Hang on, hang on. Okay, now go away. Scroll away, thank you. Also, I have to look at the camera. That's far too thick. I'm trying to draw glasses on me. And a silly nose. There you go. Beautiful. It's abstract art, okay? Right, let's just go and try some of these combinations in the other machine then. One of them's got to work, right? Most of them do not have the right number of symbols anyway. Hey, Dr. Yasmin, welcome in. There's the door. I like the way that the cursor changes into a little magnifying glass with a P symbol on it for the puzzles, or the plus and minus. You know, it's like it's just regular old Windows cursors that you can load up. It's just a neat little thing. Or the eyeball for moving around. So, you can't see under this mess of scroll that I've put on top of the feed, but code number 2 was bird, horsey, and waves. And since we don't have any other button to click to sort of activate the code, and nothing has happened, I'm going to have to assume that that was not the right code. But code number 4 also had 3 sounds to it, which was beating heart, horsey, and burb. Also nothing happening. All right, well... Oh wait, code 9 had bells, bird, and horsey. Maybe it's that one. I mean, I don't know why we're picking number 9. There's no clue around the environment that says 9 on it. Captain Sumi, good morning, James. You got strange writing on your screen. I do, yes. And also I tried to draw one of those Groucho Marx glasses, but the window that I'm using was tiny and you can't really see it. Hi. I can unobscure my face a bit here. Where's the eraser? I could also make the eraser a bit bigger, couldn't I? There we go. Nice and clean. Hello, Sumi. How are you? We're doing a puzzle here, and it's all about, like, sound effects, so it's weird. Hence the title of the game. The one code that we haven't tried yet that has 3 symbols on it was number 9, which was bells, if I can read my own scroll. Whoops, that was it. You're tired? How are you? Oh, sorry to hear that. Hope you get some rest soon. I was pretty tired today. I got up at 7 a.m. because some fuzzy creature started headbutting me. I fed the fuzzy creature and was rewarded with some cat vomit on the carpet of my bedroom. So I had to clean that, and, you know, I told you I was sorry. It's okay, Stardrop. Yeah, just like that forced activity in the morning, forcibly getting your neurons activated before they're really ready. I had to snooze on the sofa for the rest of the morning, really. I wasn't ready to face the world. There's things I meant to do today that I haven't gotten around to, and we'll just have to wait till tomorrow. Sadly, no rest, only just got up. Well, get yourself some coffee and snuggle in. We've got some reading of weird stories for you to listen to. And just let yourself wake up slowly. Be kind to yourself. Okay, symbol number 2 might be the bird. Robot Parade, welcome in, Pixel Turkey. How are you? And then the third symbol might be horsey. You're a little behind? Oh, that's quite all right. Why is this not doing things, though? Like, is there some particular way we could understand which radio station we need to tune into, and thus which symbols we need to use? Or could it be something like, you know, this is the one set of symbols that they didn't use? I'll tell you what, I will take a screenshot of my scroll, and then I'll remove it from the screen so that people can see what's going on. Beep. Boop. Let's clear. There we go. I mean, we could brute force it, but that's not exactly riveting stream content, is it? Also, there's a fairly long wait between each scroll. So, okay, hello, welcome in. Enjoy the lurk. It would take a long time to do this. There's nothing else I can click on here. No, that's fine. Exiting. And there doesn't seem to be any clue in the area. What's that? Is there something above the door? Doesn't seem to be. I mean, I think we looked at this one already, but it does have to do with numbers, so sure. A survey carried out in the 1970s by William J. Cox, an American mathematician, revealed that trains that were involved in accidents were always carrying less passengers than they normally would at that time, especially the carriages directly involved in misfortunes. The only way to explain this would suggest some sort of mass premonition. Like, there's a sort of red light above the door, but I don't think that's it. And there's the other train line, but again, I don't think that's actually interactable. It's only the one that's flashing that releases the robot. Spooky noises. Yeah, we can't click on that one. It's a bear trap. American Indians tell stories of strange beings living in Pyramid Lake, Nevada, known as water babies. These, however, are very different to the water babies of Charles Kingsley's famous novel. A trapper is said to have unwittingly caught one of these babies in his steel trap one day, only to return and find his trap reduced to a heap of twisted metal, smeared with a watery baby blood. Yeah, it would be nice if there was some additional clue as to what is going on with that combination lock back there. We can load up the robot again, I guess. Bubbles, thunder, bells. Waves. 4 sounds. But we can only put in 3 at the door. I did save that screenshot, but I don't have it on my screen here. So if I release... where was it? So number 2 seemed likely because it was bird hooves water. Also, when did the game audio capture go down? I think that must have been when I was typing into what I thought was chat. Accidentally hitting OBS hotkeys and things. Then 4 was the other candidate we thought was the one. Heartbeat. Hooves. Verb. And then finally, the only other one that was 3 sounds, by the, well, what seemed like it, was 9. But it did have that sort of tick sound that sounded like a log going up in a fire, so I don't know. 7 was the weird one, because it had only 2 sounds that I heard. Unless that background noise was like a fire. And we've got 8 that had a bunch. 10, similarly. Yeah, I don't get it. We've tried all the ones that actually can be put into that keypad. So, what's the deal here? Let's close it. We might just want to go, like, explore what other rooms might be available to us. Hopefully we're not blocked off and this is the only route that we can take at the moment. Because I'd like to, you know, read the entertaining things as well and not just bash my head against a puzzle all stream. At least I'm doing this one on stream. Last time we did a Simon Says puzzle and I was on the wrong bloody OBS screen for the entire thing. But yeah, we went through here. It's had all the random bits of video on them. Maze. It's a nice atmosphere, really. Sort of creepy, abandoned installation, but also with all these weird locations. What's going on? There was like a grinding noise behind us. Does that mean this is like rotated and leads somewhere else now? It does. Okay, it's leading back into the main entry hall. So this one was the corridor with all the stuff on it. Been down there. That leaves this door. We can't open. And this door. Oh, this one... Did we go down this one already? Like, I remember the handprint thing. Like, it teleported us into the cryo chamber, right? No, we're in a different place now. Okay, let's go through here in lieu of trying to solve the stupid puzzle over and over again. Let me also paint overlay off so we don't see the cursor. Up in the sky somewhere. Oh, we've got another puzzle. It's puzzles one way or the other. Alright, but it looks like we can assemble ourselves a bridge, yes? We want to get down there, do we? Okay, so this one... This would have to be like that. And then we have to have one corner there, so it would be pointing up. And then... How do we get this one? We can rotate it like that, okay. That can be rotated. But that is a straight piece. So it can't be this way. Because like the two straight pieces, we can't actually do anything with them that would get us to the start. So, presumably, I mean, that's also a straight piece. Can't do that one. And we rotate this one to go that way, I guess. Okay, yep, so we can go from the exit. I think this is better than going from the start. From the exit, we go up that way, that way, that way. Then this one we can flip. That takes us down here. We can't go straight, so that's fine. We want to use that to do that. We just need to rotate this one piece so I can go down and that way. But can I do that without fucking up everything else? Okay, guess we can. Cool. Now I guess we have to actually traverse this place. I'm gonna save. Probably not necessary, but I'm gonna save. Looks a little precarious. Okay, you can actually die in this game. Today we learned. I figured the cursor would stop and force us to turn, but nope. That's the stock sound from the Nutri-Grain ad. It is, yeah. Actually kind of have to keep an eye on which way the maze leads in order to navigate it. Oh, hello. A random floaty video thing. Let's listen.
In 1993 and into 1994, I was involved in writing a book on British abductions with a colleague of mine called Carl Negatis. We called the book Without Consent. Got the title from a dictionary basically. We looked up the word abduction and it said, you know, taken blah 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 without consent. And one of the things we tried to do during the research for the book was to ask the abductees that question: what do you believe happened to you? We asked 15 abductees in the UK. 2 said definitely aliens from space. Don't know where in space, but from space. 2 said it was some kind of spiritual experience. One young man we interviewed down in Wales, the only way he could rationalise with it initially was he thought it was the Russians. But 10 of the 15 said, I just don't know. I've had this most bizarre experience or experiences, the likes of which I've never had before, had no interest in UFOs, flying saucers, call them what you will, and they come to people like myself or my colleagues looking for an answer. And one of the reasons that they've actually gone public at times is in the hope that by telling their story they'll have a greater chance of getting to the bottom of it, to find that answer.
Alright. Bit of a strange place to put that particular video, just floating here in the air, but I guess they wanted to make this slightly more interesting to walk through. Look at that thing just floating there in the middle of nowhere. Completely unsupported. Oh, here we go, there's another one.
There was a fascinating wave of sightings that occurred in Belgium over the period of several months, beginning in 1989, but culminating on one night in 1990, where about 2,700 people reported sighting a UFO. Now, at the same time, the Belgian Air Force had radar returns from their ground radar stations, and they scrambled 2 F-16 fighter interceptors to try and intercept the object. The F-16 then acquired the UFO on its airborne radar, tried to intercept it, locked on to the object 7 or 8 times, but the object repeatedly broke the lock, which was fascinating because it showed the craft was under some sort of intelligent control. It was reacting to what the Belgian Air Force were trying to do. Now, when that case was assessed afterwards, the Belgian Air Force simply said that the object was capable of moving from a virtual hover to speeds of several thousand miles an hour in a matter of seconds, and they came to the conclusion that the object was real, but that they had no explanation for it.
Like triangles. Love that UFO design. Welcome in, Mr. Gell. How are you doing? We are exploring the paranormal here in a very cool mishmash of how was it Stardrop described it? Encarta, but without any facts, and kind of mist-like user experience. Oh, no video here, huh? Fine. UFO hoax history is goofy fun. It is. Like, you've got these, like, military reports of, like, oh, okay, I mean, why would the military lie? Certainly not to acquire more advanced funding for their own fighters to counter the alien menace. And, like, all sorts of little folk stories and things like that. Yeah, it's all good fun. Where are we now? Some sort of underground complex. And we got in, okay. Where are we on the map? What's this place called? Ooh, that was the Pillars of Infinity we were at. Belgian UFOs. Alien abduction case. But we are now in Holographix. Let's look.
World War II was a time when life could never be taken for granted, especially for those whose daily task it was to risk their lives fighting for their country. The men stationed at RAF Shalufa in Egypt knew that each day might be their last, but none expected to gaze upon the face of death before it happened. Yet that is exactly what happened to Wing Commander George Potter. One night, while drinking in the mess with his friend, Flying Officer Reg Lan, his attention was diverted across the room to where one of his colleagues was sitting. His blood went cold, for in place of the handsome features he expected to see was a horrific skull-like apparition sinking into a blue-black murk. He was transfixed by this stomach-churning vision until Lam broke the spell by tugging at him and asking what was wrong. George Potter shakily explained that he had seen the mark of death on his comrade. The following night his ill-starred colleague went on a mission as scheduled, but, as Potter had half expected, he did not return. His plane had been shot down over the Mediterranean Sea. The deathly vision being swallowed by the depths had become a reality.
Spooky. There's a few cases of, like, premonitions and things like that in here. Oh, that's the 5 o'clock bell. Now, interestingly, I had stated at the start of the stream that we were guaranteed an appearance by Poppy, my cat. Since this stream, unlike my Monday one, starts at 4 PM for me, and 5 PM is Poppy dinner time. But curiously, he has not been hassling me for the last hour, and is nowhere to be seen. I mean, We should go look for her, really. I want to keep her on that regular schedule. Let's go look for the puppy cat, shall we? I will put on the BRB screen so you can all enjoy that. Yesterday being World Bee Day. Where is my BRB screen? Yep, here we go. Dinner time for Puppy Cat. look out the window. So, that was the exciting part of the stream. I like that you feed Poppy from a flat plate. Well, she's got the flat plate that we have her wet food on, and we've got a smaller flat little saucer that I have slightly elevated for the biscuits. Yeah, like she had a bowl sort of thing for a long time, but you know how it is with cats and bowls. If their whiskers are brushing up against the sides, they kind of don't like it as much. Right, exciting part of the stream is done. We're going to go back to the game now. Sorry, everyone. We should be able to keep Poppy on screen for a little bit. So what's this thing? No, this thing. I feel like the game's gonna move us around a bit sometimes and I'll get disoriented. There have been intriguing reports of people having a very unusual ability. They make streetlights turn off simply by walking or driving past them. One man claimed to have darkened the streets over 100 times over a 5-year period, and another gentleman added a twist to the phenomenon by claiming he had switched some lights on as well as off in this manner. Yeah, I mean, some of these are very low-hanging fruit, but some are genuinely interesting. So what am I looking at here? That's the back side of the light bulb one. I think we need to go down this middle row to properly see them. Okay, we've got a CG hand. It's slightly creepy when it happens, though. Like, yeah, when it just happens to coincide with you walking along, yeah. A man in China was remarkable for having skin so transparent that you could clearly see his internal organs through it. However, this did not stop him from leading a near-normal life. I guess it's like extreme albinism? And what's behind us, I guess? You know what? I'm hungry now, too. Some of Poppy's wet food, like, I know it's cat food, but the sardine one in particular, like, ooh, I could go for some sardines right now. Crop circles! Yes! Here we go. I love this background music too. I should sample this. Don't forget to feed yourself from a flat plate, yeah.
Each year these strangely beautiful patterns appear in the fields and cause a fresh round of controversy. Since 1978, over 2,000 have been sighted in southern England alone. Reports of others have been made in more than a dozen countries, such as the United States, Canada, Japan and Australia. Are they the result of a higher intelligence, leaving us cryptic mathematical clues to a brighter future? Are UFOs somehow responsible? Governments practicing with top-secret particle beam weapons? A previously unseen force of nature related to tornadoes? Or simply inebriated students hoping to make page 2 of the local newspaper? Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a definitive answer. And although a lot of circles are confessed hoaxes, there is no doubt that other formations exhibit features impossible to fake, and no single theory seems to fit all the available evidence.
I love how crop circles were like such a big thing in like the 90s, with sightings everywhere, and then just this sort of like camera surveillance technology got a little bit better and more commercially available. They've all gone away. No one's managed to catch these circles forming in the act. No one's seen any of the spaceships doing it, or the government particle weapons, or whatever else was the explanations. Scientific evidence. Oh, here we go. Is there any real scientific evidence to suggest that there may be something more to crop circles than just one person's desire to hoodwink another? Some circles have features that are impossible to hoax. For example, elaborately interwoven patterns where the individual stalks are delicately linked with each other in layers up to 6 deep, as opposed to just flattened as they are in hoaxed circles. Others appear in fields of oilseed rape, which would appear to be impossible to hoax, as the stalks snap when you try to flatten them. Other circles show a complete and measurable lack of static electricity, which can then be seen to slowly return to the crops over the next few days. Dr. W.C. Levengood has studied samples from many sites around the world and is convinced that whatever causes the phenomena releases intense, rapid, high-energy bursts, possibly similar to microwaves, which actually cause measurable cellular changes. He has found crops where the leaves are rippled along one edge as if exposed to rapid heating from only one direction. Some samples exhibited a complete lack of seed growth, while others germinated and grew 45% faster than normal. Well, the aliens don't want to be filmed, do they? No, they don't. They don't want to show up on Instagram and TikTok. Although the explanations for their appearances are numerous, the most popular theory is that all crop circles are hoaxes, especially after the notorious duo Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley claimed responsibility for many of the formations in southern England. They revealed how they had made dozens of circles over the years, using nothing more complex than a plank and a length of rope. However, the mystery of the circles can be traced as far back as the Middle Ages, long before Doug and Dave's hoaxes appeared. Most crop circle investigators, or serialologists as they have become known, accept that the majority of crop circles are indeed hoaxes. It's difficult to deny that this, in view of the numbers of people claiming to be hoaxers, and the fact that numbers of crop circles appearing grew in response to media coverage. Correspondingly, as the media has lost interest in the number of circles appearing each year has decreased. However, investigators such as Jenny Randalls and Paul Fuller conclude that there may be a real phenomenon hidden in amongst the many hoaxes. At least 1 in 10 circles seem to include features that cannot be satisfactorily explained away. Beautiful symmetry. During the late 1970s and throughout the 1980s, the formations tended to be simple, plain circles, but from 1990 onwards they evolved into complex formations, including rectangles, triangles, and the combination of shapes, some as large as football fields. The theories for this seem to be as numerous as the circles themselves. Some believe the symbols to be part of a universal language, and as such they spell out messages to us from the stars, or perhaps another dimension, time. Others believe them to contain coded mathematical secrets. Astronomer and mathematician Gerald Hawkins, co-author of Stonehenge Decoded, believes this coded message to be musical in nature. Geometry has on occasion been called frozen music because, like pure harmony, perfect mathematical accuracy, is the nature and beauty of a theorem. He goes on to say, as a careful scientist, I'm not saying the patterns are musical, only that the sizes follow the same mathematical law as the intervals of Western music. The creators seem to know of these fractions, taking care to encode them in the shapes so that they could be retrieved by someone studying aerial photographs. UFOs. One of the most popular theories surrounding the formation of crop circles is that UFOs are somehow involved, and there is no denying that the appearance of the circles seems to go hand in hand with increased reports of UFO activity and strange lights in the sky. Some people even claim to have photographic and video evidence of glowing spheres skipping in and out of the corn above the site of new formations, but like most such evidence, the pictures are not conclusive. In the early days, it was simply thought that the circles represented the impressions left by a spacecraft when it landed in a field. However, as the shapes have become more complex, so have the theories. Are alien beings trying to communicate with us via these strange pictograms? If so, then surely creatures that have mastered intergalactic travel could learn to spell and leave us a message we can understand? But what if they are slowly trying to open our minds to the possibility of their existence by leaving increasingly complex, and therefore difficult to fake, symbols until we finally realize that someone must be trying to communicate? Some subscribers too. Okay, this one actually has scrolling. I wonder if the others have scrolling that I missed. Some subscribers to this theory regularly camp out in fields during the summer and attempt to channel their mental energies into communicating with the circle creators. Some even claim a degree of success and believe that circles have appeared in answer to their summons. This one, scientific evidence, also did have a page too. Dr. Levengood concludes, for those who have said the formations are hoaxed, the hoaxer would have to explain in detail how all the biophysical and biochemical changes are brought about in the plants, including the type of energy and method of application needed to produce node swelling, node bending, and severe lateral node splitting that is uniformly expressed within plants covering a sharply defined circular area, at least 110 feet in diameter, as in the Kenzo case. Reduction in embryo growth and development, reduced seed weight, in a uniform manner and over a large area without affecting the developing somatic, non-reproductive, tissue or outward appearance of the plant. Increased growth rate and development for those seeds that have reduced weights and characteristics of low viability. More rapid seedling development, even under stressful light and nutrient conditions from formation seeds. So while it would seem relatively easy to hoax a circle that would fool most people, it would appear difficult, if not impossible, to perform a hoax that would fool the more dedicated seriologists. Yeah, that was the audio one. So yes, disoriented again. We're in this room, and that was behind us, and we were going this way. I reckon what we'll do for this stream, we'll finish off this room, and because I am sort of semi-tired and hungry, I could call it after we do that. And then off-stream, I'll have another bash at that radio puzzle, because it's not very entertaining if I'm just trying to flip through all these combinations. And maybe I will just bloody brute force it, because I can't make any sense of it. What's this one, then? Flowers. Would it be possible, do you think, for someone to live without taking any sustenance other than the scent of flowers? Unlikely though it seems, such a claim was made by Eve Flegen of Germany, who was said to exist on just such a diet for some years. It may not be quite as unique as it sounds, though, as centuries ago, Pliny told of an East Indian tribe known as the Estomi tribe, who having been born with no mouths, lived off the smell of various roots and flowers. Alrighty.
The mysteries of the distinctive formation of stones that make up Stonehenge have been discussed by more experts than almost any other man-made structure. Like many such structures, it was engineered to be in a specific place in relation to the sun, so that at the significant time of midsummer, the sun would rise in line with the heel stone if you were within the circle. Though very much a focal point of the Druids, this stone enigma on Salisbury Plain, England, was almost certainly built by unknown people, long before Druidic times. Stonehenge itself evolved through various stages over a period of about 1,000 years, beginning around 2800 BC. The most baffling puzzle probably being the question of why its builders should have transported bluestones from a sacred ring all the way from Wales, about 135 miles. It would have been a truly massive task, using only the most primitive forms of transport, and bearing in mind the difficulty of travel and lack of communication systems, one wonders how they would have been aware of the existence of such stones so far away. Many theories abound as to its placing on the network of lays, a mysterious system of underground lines, which are said to run across the world and act as channels of great natural power, with structures such as Stonehenge acting as giant faucets. Other theories have suggested that it was built as a kind of astrological computer, a temple, or as a focal point for the many burial grounds in the region. The absence of any written explanation from its makers themselves as to why they should go to the incredible efforts that they did leaves us only our own science and imagination to explain the building of Stonehenge.
Good old Stonehenge. Right, so I think we're at that junction, and we need to go this way? Aha, and yeah, you can sometimes find little sneaky ones that they've hidden in the environment. What's this? Fire! It was a strange enough occurrence when young Amy Kirby was discovered enveloped in flames just 2 minutes after her mother had left to get some water. No sign could be found of any cause of such a fierce blaze. Then a truly remarkable thing happened. As her distraught mother hurried across the valley to tell her husband of the terrible news, she met an equally distraught messenger who was rushing to tell her that her other daughter had just been discovered, burnt to near death. Though a mile apart at the time, her daughters had both inexplicably caught fire simultaneously at 11 a.m. Sadly, neither lived long enough to explain this most disturbing of puzzles. Yeah, I don't think they would be in the mood for answering questions like, hey, why are you on fire? Ogopogo critter captured on tape. Launa, BC, CP. Car salesman Ken Chaplin was hooked a big fish with his claim to have the serpent-like Ogopogo of Okanagan Lake on videotape. "There's definitely something there," says Paul Gassick, a field producer for the National Geographic Society's Explorer series. He was sent to Kanoa to view Chaplin's video. "I can't make a positive ID," he says. "I don't doubt for a minute that they believe they've seen this critter." That's a very interesting way of putting it. The video was shown to reporters last week, clearly revealing a long, snake-like creature. "It's impossible not to raise an eyebrow when you hear about Ogopogo," says Gassick. "But there are some strange things in the world, and we at National Geographic have heard of a few and photographed a few." BC Monster, a TV star soon? Kelowna, BC, CB. Ogopogo, the legendary beast of Okanagan Lake, may soon be a TV star south of the border. Arlene Gall, a local Ogopogo expert, says the NBC show Unsolved Mysteries may use what could be the best video of the alleged lake monster on one of its fall programs. The show is interested in an update to its 1990 program, which focused on a video taken at Bear Creek Provincial Park, says Gall. She wrote Unsolved Mysteries officials this week, suggesting use of a video taken July 24th by Paul Demara near a local resort. "I've never seen that type of visual record before," says Gall. "You'd almost swear there was a head and a tail, where you can actually see how the creature swims. It's got to be 30, 40 feet long or more. It's pretty good stuff." Okanagan Lake was calm, and there was no wind about 7:15 p.m. the day 7 people saw something unusual. "We were having a dinner from our sun deck overlooking the lake," said Demara, "when we saw what appeared to be an underwater object moving across the water in front of my mom's lakeshore property. It appeared just below the surface, and to bob up and down as it moved from south to north fairly quickly," said Demara. What's here?
Ever since the Europeans first visited East Africa 300 or 400 years ago, there have been reports from European settlers of a shambling animal which appears to be a bear living in the more remote parts of Kenya and Tanganyika. What makes this particularly interesting is that apart from a very small relict population, which is probably extinct anyway, of the brown bear in the Atlas Mountains, there are no bears in Africa, and probably have never been any bears in Africa. But people still see this animal, and it seems very likely that it is what is called a composite animal, that the sightings which have led to the legend of the Chemazit or the Nandi bear are actually sightings of 3 or 4 different creatures, several of which may actually be genuine unknown animals in their own right, some of which may be misidentifications of known species. It seems quite possible that there is a giant species of baboon living in the wilds of the Kenyan highlands, and there may also be aberrant and possibly new species of hyena living there as well, and that misidentifications of these animals could well lead an observer to think that he had seen a bear-like creature.
That seems to be it for this room. We can check the map to see if there's any little hot spots that we missed. There's the twin combustion one. Ogopogo, crop circles, Stonehenge. So we can see where this exit goes. It doesn't look like it goes back to the main corridor. Okay, behind the spacey door was a normal regular door. Closed behind us and everything. Ah, a ziggurat. all sorts of things out here. Where are we? Navigation map. We are in Pyramid Plain. Ooh, there's a puzzle at the top of that thing. Okay. But as I am, as mentioned, kind of hungry and kind of tired, we might park ourselves here. Give it a save. We might park ourselves here and raid out. I don't want to tire out my voice or my remaining brain cells. So yes, it's been very good to have you all here. Let's patch this. Hi. Yes, so thank you again, Robot Spacer, for the raid, and thank you everyone who came by. I hope you'll find something you like here. I do upload my VODs to the YouTubes, so you can see on neko.stream. I have all the social links and the YouTube link up there. Funky multimedia fun. Stream appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you, Robot Spacer. And yeah, thank you everyone, especially lurkers. I know some of you, you're busy at work. All very appreciated. Thank you for stopping by. You can see me next week, Monday, at 7 p.m. my time, which is currently 9 a.m. UTC, I think. And we will be playing more Ultima 8 Pagan. And on the Wednesdays, I'll do this again at 4 p.m. my time, which is 6 a.m. UTC. So you can catch me then. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. Mental health is important. And let's find someone to raid. I feel like, Sonnevel's going to be on, right? We could just go with our old mate Sonnevel. Yeah, he's only just starting up, so let's go say hi to Sonneveld. There was something I wanted to do just for funsies, to see if it will mess with his shoutouts. So let's do this. That might be entertaining for me. Yes, here's a raid message if you want. And shout out for Sonneveld if you get left behind by the raid, which happens on mobile, because mobile experience is just terrible. Raid Sonneveld. There we go. Yeah, I think I said it all already. Take care, everyone. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you all. And I will see you next time.